What's up guys, it's Meg and it's that time of the week again where we get to look dead ahead to see what's coming up on the next episode of Fear the Walking Dead. Today we're discussing our thoughts and predictions for season 2 episode 3 called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Ouroboros? It's a very interesting name. Have you guys looked up what this name means? So apparently it's an ancient symbol of a serpent or a dragon eating its own tail. And then kind of from what I could gather from it, it eats its own tail to sustain its life in an eternal, I don't know what this word is. Oh, cycle. I can't read my handwriting. In an eternal cycle of renewal. So a kind of interesting title for a Fear the Walking Dead episode. I'm not really sure what to think of it, to be quite honest. So what do you guys think this name has to do with episode 3? Because I'm kind of at a loss. It sort of reminds me of this whole Walker apocalypse we have going on because people are eating each other, but I'm not sure if that's why this is, well, if that's what this is in reference to. There's also the symbol, just the symbol. So there's a possibility we could run into that ship that is stalking our boat crew. So I'm wondering if maybe the boat is called the Ouroboros, or the symbol is on the boat. Maybe that's where it comes into play. And then there's kind of, once we see the episode, we may learn kind of, or we may understand better what the bigger picture of the episode is based on the name. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of all I have for you there. So I'm going to be kind of reviewing, breaking down the two main promos. The first one is just of Strand, and he's on the phone again, and I really like Strand as a character, and I'm really crossing my fingers that he doesn't go anywhere anytime soon. But he's on the phone, and he's calling the same person that he was talking to before, and they don't answer, and you can tell he's getting a little panicky here. And then he calls again, and somebody on the other line answers the phone, but there's no voice, just static. And you can hear him, and he sounds almost a little desperate here, and he's saying, "Are you there? Can you hear me?" And then he says, "I'm coming." And I couldn't quite understand what he said after this. Let me know if you actually caught what he said. But then he gave coordinates, sort of. So I'm kind of thinking he was saying where he's at, you know, in location to where the places that he's going. So that was my thought. If you guys actually caught what he said, leave it in the comments so I can know, because I listened to it a million times, I cannot hear it. But you can tell in this promo that he's much more worried that someone is, you know, they're not answering as quickly, that he's not able to have a real conversation with this person on the other end. And he's definitely more worried than he was before. Before there was already he was already very hurried, you know, he needed to get there to where he was going. He wanted them to wait for him, okay? And he sounded, you know, in a hurry that way, but now he sounds more desperately. He's not sure what's going on the other end of the line there. Why can't they answer? And we know that that Daniel found maps of Mexico, okay? So that was that promo. And in the second promo that we're breaking down here, we do see Madison confront Strand about going to Mexico. So she always see is her yelling at him, "Are we going to Mexico?" We don't hear an answer from him. But that leads me to believe that Daniel is telling Madison what he found in that, you know, storage area with all the maps and the gun and everything. So most likely Daniel has gone and told Madison what he found, and now, you know, she's gonna be the one to confront him about it and to ask him where exactly we are going, what the plan is, what is he doing here, you know? So as far as where the episode is gonna start off, I'm pretty sure, so we have Flight 462 is going to be in this episode. I am so excited to finally see what happened to everyone on Flight 462. I never did my review of the web series like I wanted to. I really enjoyed the story that was in all of the mini episodes. What I did not enjoy was the fact that they were like a minute, 30 second, 50 second, a minute long video, and that was it. You know, a minute long clip each week for what? Like, I don't even know how many episodes there were. It was so stupid. 10, 11, 12? I don't know how many there were. But it was like a minute each week, and it was such a tease, and they could have done so much more, I feel like. But, you know, that being said, I did still enjoy this, you know, watching it, and I enjoyed it more, I think, because I knew a character from Flight 462 was going to end up on the show. I think that that is really the only redeeming factor of having such a short, you know, minute-long clip each week web series, because at least we were watching it to find out who ended up on the show. If no one had ended up on the show, I don't think I would have been very interested in it, quite frankly. So we know, and I've said this before, that Charlie, so she's going to end up being in this episode. She is signed on for a series regular position, so I'm super excited. I'm pretty sure this episode is going to start out with the survivors of Flight 462. So it's going to start out with Charlie on this raft. I'm pretty sure right next to her here is Jake. He looks really badly injured. Probably not going to make it, because later in the promo we do hear Alicia yelling that he's dying. Not him specifically, but she's yelling at Madison, he's dying. And I kind of feel like they will have gone back to get him, or at some point they will try and pull him up on the yacht. Madison may say, you know, we have to leave him, whatever. But I think that's who Alicia's talking about here. And so we're probably going to see, you know, starting the episode right from Charlie's perspective, well, not really perspective, but from, you know, Charlie's group, and maybe even how they escaped the plane. We may even see them crash into, you know, wherever the plane crashes at. So that would be pretty exciting to see, because at the end of the web series, we didn't actually ever see the plane crash. So I hope that they show the start of this episode, show the plane actually crashing, or the immediate aftermath of that. So obviously our group is at some point going to either be passing by this island or this land, I don't know if it's an island or not, where the plane crashed. I think that they're probably going to see the wreckage and think we may be able to get supplies from here, and then they will go up onto the beach and explore for supplies. So we do see Nick later in kind of the captain's uniform, or the pilot's uniform, not captain, the pilot's uniform. So we definitely know they've kind of been scavenging around. We see Chris on his own at some point. We see, so they're definitely going around looking for supplies and maybe what they can get. At some point, Daniel comes across Charlie, and she's running for her life. So at some point she's either abandoned the rest of the people in the raft, or she's left them somewhere in the meantime, and she's on her own, and she's running down the beach, down the sand. She heads straight towards Daniel, tells him to run, and when I saw that scene, it totally reminded me of Jurassic Park where they're being chased and they're just like, run! So I really like that part. And then we see our group get cornered. So Daniel and Charlie are running down. They end up with Alicia and Chris. Nick is nowhere to be found. Alicia's asking where Nick is. They're cornered, they have to fight. And then eventually, as we saw in my other promo breakdown, I don't think I'm going to stick the image in this video, but if you watch my previous promo breakdowns for the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead this season, there was a scene where they were running down and getting onto a raft and dragging it out into the water, like they were leaving very quickly. So they will escape. I don't think anyone will get hurt or injured here, you know, with all of these walkers, but it will be an intense moment. I definitely think there's going to be a lot more action in this episode, and that makes me really excited. As I said in my last promo breakdown video for Fear, we do know that Nick has gone off on his own. He is going to discover, I guess, that you can disguise yourself with walker blood and walk amongst the walkers. So we see him in this image here. He's fighting off a walker. He's been probably taken off guard, wasn't expecting it, and the walker's on top of him. He's fighting for his life here. In this promo, we don't see the bloody, you know, him with the blood all over his face or anything, but we've seen that in previous promos, so we can, you know, take a guess that at this point he is probably ends up being surrounded by more walkers and ends up somehow covering his body, face with walker blood, and realizes that you can disguise yourself this way, which this is a very important thing for survivors to know. It's a good thing to know, and I'm happy to know that Nick is going to discover this and can tell everyone else. Maybe we'll see them use it in the future. I don't know. I'm just excited to see like a little, it feels like a little, not really an Easter egg, but that's sort of the only word I can think of it. An Easter egg from The Walking Dead. It's like, yes, now our group knows they can disguise themselves this way, even though it's disgusting. And Nick did go a little far by rubbing it all over his face. Anyways, moving along, there are just a couple scenes from this promo that kind of, I'm not really sure where they fit in. We see Travis in a scuba suit and he goes under the water and then something happens to him. He gets attacked or something, and we don't really know what happens there. We don't know why he's in a scuba suit. Do you guys have any ideas? I mean, does he, maybe there's some wreckage of the plane under the water? I don't really have any idea, especially knowing that there are walkers floating around in the water. I'm not really sure why you would want to just jump in, especially with a scuba suit too, but maybe they find something, maybe they find another boat capsized, or I don't really know. And then there is another moment where Daniel is talking to Madison, and it looks like they're probably talking to someone else in the room, but we, because they're standing side by side and it looks like they're looking at someone, probably Strand, and Daniel says the longer we wait, the bigger the risk. So, oh man, I love Daniel's view on things. I love everything that he adds to the show. He is my favorite character by far, so far in the series, and I just love this. He's very knowledgeable and he knows a lot of things, and he knows how to read people and just everything about him. So I love that he is the one to always deliver these lines like, the longer we wait, the bigger the risk. We still have the looming threat of the mystery boat that's stalking them, the ship that's stalking them. I have a feeling we may, towards the end of the episode, we hear Madison say, we have to go now, we have to go. And so I'm wondering if maybe she is, you know, Travis is probably in the water at that point and she's running to the edge of the boat, because later we see her looking over the edge of the boat and saying Travis's name. So I'm wondering if the scenes are connected, but she's saying we have to go now, and that kind of leads me to believe that maybe the ship is coming. So maybe that's how they close out episode 3. We get all the plane, you know, the plane crash stuff, and that's the majority of the episode, and then at the very end we have this looming threat of this ship again, and maybe it's getting closer, or maybe it's almost on top of them, and that's how the episode ends, leading into episode 4, where we finally will get this, you know, this threat will come to be. I don't know. I'm having trouble finding my words today, you guys. All right, that is it for my Dead Ahead predictions video. Breaking down the 2 promos for episode 3 of Fear the Walking Dead. Let me know what your guys' predictions are in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. This Sunday, we have Fear the Walking Dead episode 3, but we also have Game of Thrones. And you guys know I'm really, really obsessed with Game of Thrones right now, and I'm much more excited for the Game of Thrones premiere than I am for Fear the Walking Dead episode 3. So, and as you may know, they both air at the exact same time on TV. I don't have a DVR or anything, so I don't know what to do. Do I watch Fear the Walking Dead at 9, or do I watch Game of Thrones at 9? I think I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones. Don't tell anyone. So, hopefully you guys like Game of Thrones too. I think I'm going to film a reaction and just kind of put it up and see what you guys think. If y'all hate it, I don't have to keep doing it, but it's something I kind of wanted to try out, because Game of Thrones is like really shocking all the time, and I have no doubt that the premiere is probably going to be pretty shocking anyways. We had a lot of cliffhangers, you know, at the end of season, oh, was it season 5 or season 6? Season 5. This is season 6 coming, right? So at the end of season 5, there were a lot of cliffhangers, and we were all left hanging wondering, is Jon Snow dead? So I'm really excited, and I think I'm gonna watch that, and then on Monday I'll watch Fear the Walking Dead. So the Fear videos will be late this week. I'm just gonna try it out. If you guys get, you know, if you're really upset about the Fear videos being late, I'm sorry. Let me know though, and we'll try and work it out better the following week, okay? Hope you guys understand. I love you. Have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.